Hi, I'm Deborah. Welcome to MoggyBoxCraft. Welcome to my greenhouse. This is my first year growing in the greenhouse. First year we've had the greenhouse, and my second year growing using raised beds, trying to grow fruit and veg. So yeah, last year I wrote down all my notes, all my things for the garden. I came back to look at it and was like, it didn't really help because I didn't have pictures and the visuals to go with everything I'd written, or all the complications I'd had, or struggles, or the successes I'd had throughout 2018. So this year I thought I would do averagely I was going to do time lapse, so it's a 2-week time lapse of the greenhouse and the raised beds. More for me than for you guys really, but if it helps someone, fantastic. The trials and tribulations of learning what to do in the garden basically. So I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully I'll learn lots from it. Hope maybe you'll learn a little bit too, and next year that means my garden can be a tiny bit more productive, or I can get a little bit more produce. I'll be honest, I've learnt lots this year. There's definitely lots I would change and lots I'll do differently. So without further ado, here is what happened in my garden in 2019. Enjoy. Hi, hello, how are you doing there? Welcome to my garden, or welcome to my dog trying to get a boozy. It is time to plant some seeds. I was out B&Q the other day, came across these guys. This is correct as of February 2019. The bottom trays were £4, the covers were £8.07. I also got these little guys, they fit in perfectly. These were £3.27. Well, last year was my first proper growing year. I have quite a lot of seeds left over, and I've been gifted quite a lot of seeds, which has been really lovely of everyone. All of these and all of these. Another problem I faced last year, I got lollipops, the sticks, thinking that these guys would be great. You write your plant name or whatever on your lollipop stick, and they fade off really quickly. This year, I was lovingly gifted a Dymo Junior. Happy days. I've gone to the liberty already of printing out a whole heap of these. You see that alright? Everything in this box has already been labelled. This will be something that my raised beds will look like. It's a vague plan for my greenhouse. Also got a couple of bags of soil. Trying to do compost now for quite some time, and it still isn't quite ready. But until such times, shot-bought. Also, my plan was to get proper soil for seeding. I couldn't find anything anywhere, so I'm not sure if it's either sold out or it's not in the shops yet. We've got all-purpose compost. How's the best way going to do this? Oh, that should do it. I think that'll do for right now. So I'm just going to spread out my compost into my tiny little cells. Some sweet peppers. I really hope these come good. It's another sweet, properly sweet red pepper. Butternut squash, shall we? Aubergines. Artichoke. Cherry tomatoes. Alicia Craig. Alicante tomato. Tomato crystal F1 hybrid. Super marmalade tomato. The striped stuffer tomato. Sweet corn. These are everything we're going to do, or at least try to do. Oh yes! Mange 2! Mange 2. Adame soybeans. Just pea hurst. Little peas. I'm gonna give these guys a bit of a water. I shall put down my lid. Pop in a nice, cosy, warm place. That is 2 weeks since I planted these. They are pretty leggy, as you can see. Today's plan is to plant them to these wee pots and just give them a little bit more space. I'm still going to keep them indoors. They are a little bit leggy, but it's just a lack of light this time of year. The ones that are doing really well, I'm going to repot over here, give them a little bit more room, still keeping them inside. Because if you hear a lot of snuffling and noise in the background, that'll be the dogs. Let's crack on, shall we? If they'll let me. It is nearly their dinner time, but don't tell them that. They already know. The sort of compost I'm using is a general purpose compost from B&Q, if anyone's interested. And I'm not pretending like I know what I'm doing. I'm just showing you what I'm just gonna take you on this little journey with me, and hopefully you enjoy it. Carefully very carefully prise this seed out of here. Loads of roots already. I'm just going to plop him right in here as carefully as possible. Just being as careful as I can doing this so I don't damage any roots. One down, gazillion more to go. So this is technically my second year growing. And I thought it'd be quite nice to have a little documentation of it all. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. 2 weeks growth and this tiny seed. So last year I grew loads and I think I had only one type of courgette growing, but I had 5 plants, and it kind of amazed me because it was my first year. I didn't really know what I was doing. Well, I still don't really know what I'm doing, but it kind of did absolutely amaze me how much produce you can get off such few plants. So I know I don't need as many courgettes as this after last year. We got 3 different types of courgette. We're trying it this year. I think for the first couple of years growing your own, I think it probably is. I'd like to think it's a good idea to try a lot of different varieties, just depending on where you live in the world. Even being in Scotland, you know, from the west to the east coast, you know, we do get quite a reasonably varying degrees of weather depending where your garden's situated. You know, is it sheltered? Is it more windy? You know, do you have a greenhouse? I think it's all kind of good things to bear in mind. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying a few different things. This is all a learning curve, and that's okay. Courgette zucchini, a sweet corn snow baby, and a zucchini that's an F1 hybrid. Sure thing. Peppers that don't seem to be grown quite so quickly. Now my greenhouse is 7 meters long. We will just pick the best of the best of the plants to put into the greenhouse. Last year as well, we put the raised beds in. We got the garden, the raised beds ready to use by the end of April. So I only actually started planting things from seed at the end of April last year and had a really good season. Now I realise it was really nice weather last year. Good luck, good management, who knows? I imagine a lot of these names I will get completely wrong. Or maybe in different countries they're called different things. I don't know. Here we go. I don't know if you can see all them. Tomato super marmande. I want to say marmalade, but that's obviously not right. But it's really hard to tell, you know, sometimes you, depending on where you're living. Do you know, when it says, oh, you know, plant 10 weeks before the last frost. I just don't think that's always possible. Is it? That's the last lot of tomatoes in there. I've never grown Brussels sprouts before, so I don't know how they're going to go. So Brussels sprout, Groninger? How in the heck do you pronounce that? Shouldn't even be trying to pronounce that, should I? Just making a mockery of it all. That's the rest of them all planted. Job done. Welcome to my greenhouse. So I've been gifted a lot of seeds, and I've bought a lot of seeds. We've even gotten some seeds when we were on holiday last year in Tenerife. Yeah, there are a few things I'm struggling to propagate and get to grow. Hopefully, now it's a little bit warmer in Scotland, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So what day are we on? The 12th of May. This is my setup for propagating or growing seeds, I guess. So this is all my seeds I'm going to plant in here. I've also got a few seeds that I've harvested from leftover or food waste peppers. Well, not food waste, I used the peppers, and then I've gathered all the seeds in there. I don't know if these will be any good or not, but we're going to try as well. January to April. Alright, okay, well we're a week or so late, but it's Scotland, so what can you do? Seeds look for the cucumber. Another aubergine. This is Black Beauty, I think, so that's how the seeds look. Really tiny little things. I put 2 of these in. I've really struggled to propagate aubergine, and I think it's just because it's just too cold, but I live in hope. This one, it's kind of like it is a cauliflower, but it is like a bit like a broccoli. Dying to try it out, growing it this year. This is what the seeds look like. It does actually say, so May to June, so fingers crossed we're not too late for this. This is another one that I've struggled to grow. It is a sweet corn F1 early bird. So it's a hybrid, and this is how the kernels look. It does say to sow April and May, so hopefully I have a little bit more luck with this one now. I've had so little joy propagating these. I'm really hoping 2 seeds means I've got a higher chance of actually succeeding. I just think the seeds are just, in Scotland it's just a bit too cold to maybe plant directly out. I've tried direct planting out, a little bit extra soil on top, make them work for their freedom. This is another kind of unusual one for me, I think. Again, it says sow April to May. Courgette, golden griller, and that is what the seeds look like. I've only got 4 left of these. I think I've only got 15 in a pack. Sweet pointed red pepper seeds. Well, I've been using that for cooking. I've just taken out the seeds and dried them off. So I've been sat on my windowsill now for quite a few weeks. So I thought we'd give this a try to grow. Now just going to water these in the background there. My jalapeno desperately needs water. I don't know if they're still okay or not. I've been busy planting up my garden. And of course that's the greenhouse all planted up. In other exciting news, I've just discovered this guy. Apparently called not a wasp nest, a wasp bite. It's really quite beautiful. Well, I certainly couldn't make anything that looked that nice. I will update you on that later. Oh hi, you invading my greenhouse. What do you smell? Fruits of my labour. Oh hello. Will you guys just stay out there while I film the greenhouse? No pee there! Pelle, don't pee there! Don't pee there! Oh my god, keep going, keep going. You can go play in the grass, go play in the grass. I also have spied a pear. Where is he? There he is, I think. And another little one there. I mean, this tree is tiny. In the third year we've had him, and he's finally got a pear on him. Yes! Apple tree is looking good too. Lots of apples. And we've even got a red currant. This is how the red currant is looking. Raspberry, he's not doing much right now. He's growing a little bit. Blueberry, another blueberry. Bramble, he has exploded. Some rhubarbs. Blackberries. An insect infestation. But this guy's look pretty good in here. So while the boys enjoy the overgrown grass, baytree I think, this guy, I don't know, but he died, unfortunately. Passion fruit. Cauliflower, I can't pronounce that. Peppers, sweet corn, more peppers, aubergine, artichoke, and the rest are all tomatoes. Propagator, and right up the end, got pumpkin, squash, more squash, courgette, cucumber, chamomile, strawberries, and I've no idea what this guy is. I thought he was dead, and I popped him in here, and he seems to have come back to life so far. You're going through the fence. Well done. I see ya. You guys chillaxing? What's growing, what's not, what issues I've had. Well, let's start with the greenhouse. Papaya plant, I thought that died in the winter. Cucumbers down here. Now, they were over here. A bit more research tells me that they're going to grow pretty big. Put up these, I don't know what are these for. I think they're for wire originally, but I thought, well, they're not doing anything. We don't need them for that. So I'll just repurpose them all down here. And my plan is to tie string just to give everything a little bit of support. These are the cucumber plants so far. I think they get quite big, so I'll best put them against a wall. Variety of different peppers, red peppers hopefully. We've got cayenne, is that? No, it's jalapeno pepper there. Cayenne pepper. We've got a random, I think this is courgette. I think that's courgette. This is cauliflower romanesco. Now, I had 3 of these plants, but we've had a bit of an invasion of insects, as we can see. That one is just about surviving. We did have one down here, but it's been eaten. I've actually had a lot of problems with them. That's why I've replanted a whole pile of French bean peas and Adami soybeans. They completely ate all them. The slugs have been at my one melon I got to grow. We also had a disaster with a frost, and that killed off the last of my courgette. We've got a few courgette plants growing, but they killed off my courgette F1 sure thing. We're going to try that again. I'm also propagating some more peas, and hopefully it's not too late. Sweet corn is growing amazingly in the greenhouse. And more peppers. A couple of aubergines. I know they're all closely packed in because we've had so much problems with like mice and slugs and snails and insects. I have completely overplanted, and the hope that if a few things get eaten, I'll be okay still. I've got some artichoke. The rest all down here is all tomatoes. These are all my extra tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes. A few flowers on them, really excited. I have been in, so the cherry tomatoes, Alicia Craig, I think it is, and Alicante tomato. All of these, I think you're supposed to snip out the little side shoots in here. So I have actually already been through and just tweak them out the way. Or here's another good example. Just take off the little side shoots. I've been through and just taken off the first wee bit, cleared the bottom of the branches basically, give them a little bit more of a chance and ventilation. And I've done the same with the Alicia Craig's. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it right. And again, popped in lots of string for support there. Alicante, we've got some flowers in here. I'm really excited about that. Oh, and more here. Yes! Now the Super I don't even know how to pronounce this, Marmande, and the striped stuffers, you don't pull the side shoots out of them, you just let them be, apparently. And they seem to be an awful lot smaller than the rest of my tomatoes, but I'm presuming that is simply because, well, this is probably the darkest part of the greenhouse. They do sort of start quite high here. Slowly dip. I've got a giant pumpkin plant. Like last year I had them in, I think it was at that raised bed, and they completely took over the place. So I thought, let's try them in the greenhouse, maybe keep a bit more control of them. I've got one little flower down there. Lots of activity going here. This is maybe a problem, but they seem to be working around that okay, so we will see how that goes. It's not an ideal solution, but I have got a small garden and we're just trying to pack in as much as possible. Don't judge me. What have we got in here? I think this is a squash. F1 Jean de Vert? Is that how you pronounce that? Please let me know. Got, I think, 3 plants in this pot, which is probably a little bit too much. I've got courgette golden grillers, which are yellow courgette, and they're coming on really good. This is courgette Virginia 3. Look, this is the problem we're having. You need a relocation. Right, where will we put him for the moment? I don't know. Pop him up here for the moment. So that we are having quite a lot of, sorry the plane going overhead, we're having a few problems with slugs and snails. What you can do, that's real life. But these guys are coming on really nicely. More courgettes here. These are both golden grillers. I've had a few of these problems, like leaf things. I don't know if it's been either too hot or I think they might have been overwatered. But these guys are actually coming on okay now. Garlic chive, no action in there yet. But I thought I'd try them in there to see if I have less problems with insects, really. Yeah, a little update. We did have a wasp bike nest up there. I had a lovely guy, Kevin I think his name was, from Humane Wildlife Solutions. I think they're based in Edinburgh or Ellen, Scotland anyway. He came, slid a Tupperware tub really gently in, trapped them in Tupperware and then reset the nest, and hopefully they can live on without any harm coming to them, hopefully. And one of my friends suggested, well, actually gave me this. And it is just an empty bag, kind of, that does look like a wasp nest, and you're supposed to put it up and it deters any more wasps or setting more nests up. So we've popped him up, and again I'll keep you updated if that actually helps. The sturgeons are finally flowering. I think this was the first one, so that was a couple of days ago, so that was lovely. The birds have been and pooped in all my mint, which is a bit of a disaster, but these 4 are getting on fine. And these guys is what I've been trying to use to deter slugs, aphids, snails. Got them from one of the garden centres. Hello, you're so handsome. Yeah! I have been saving all old bottles and things to sort of try and do my own homemade insect repellents and things. But for now, that's how the greenhouse is looking. So I've got a few cherries. not looking fabulous. After all the... Oh, I have got a few up there as well, you guys can see. I think last year they kind of were good to eat by about July, but unfortunately the wasps got them before I did. Climbing rose. I'm hoping that he'll sort of go up and into our up here and look very pretty. Chilies. I repotted these a while ago, but I have to do that again. Jalapenos, cayenne. Don't know how to pronounce this guy. He was another sneaky one I seen at the garden centre. Thought that might be nice to try. Straubs. These are probably my oldest straubs here. So I've cut them right back and we'll get replacing with these guys later. Starting to get straubs. And this is the first one. It's actually looking like got a little bit of colour. Also, we keep finding mice. So we've got a little humane trap here. We're just going to go release him back into the wild. Olive tree. Don't really know what to do with him. Peas are kind of... Now we had a lot of problems with the peas and Adami and Monge too. So I don't know if it was mice or slugs or a bit of everything. As you can see, where the Adami soybean has been completely ripped out, and we've also had problems with like the spring onions getting pulled out. Shiraz Monge 2, we've got our first Monge 2 over there, and lots more coming by the looks of it. So yeah, basically all these lot of plants got pulled out, which was a bit of a disaster. We've had to sort of I put them back where I thought they belonged, but I'm only really going to know when I start getting veg through on them, whether I realise I've planted a Monge 2 back where I thought a sugar pea was. Virginia 3 courgettes here. Got them in Tenerife. Again, infestation of insects. This has been a bit of a disaster, but they're okay, just have to give them a really good wash. So we've got little gem lettuce and round lettuce here. Beetroot, onions. So I tried set onions this year. And of course a few plants, these ones and that one's for the bees. Greenhurst pea, I'm not sure if that is or not. And French bean behind us there. Potatoes. This was a bit of a foolish mistake. So I didn't really quite think about how things would grow. My problem last year was that the potatoes went wild and covered everything. So I thought, oh well, you know, these take a while, like a winter veg, so I'll pop them all in here. Don't come for me. So I did have leeks down there. I don't know if any of them are really surviving, but we'll see. And in here we have Brussels sprouts, and then this little row down there, which you can't really see. Well, it was supposed to be parsnips, so we'll see. Carrots seem to be, I think, doing okay. Gala apple seeds, so they had been in the greenhouse, but I think it was just too hot for them, so they're now out here. Total disaster over here with slugs and snails. So everything I put in here seems to get eaten, so we're trying again with lots more spray. So again, set onions, done some cabbage, like Chinese cabbage, kale, radishes, sweet corn. It's getting tragic. That's the sweet corn in the garden. This is how cold it is. We've had a horrific time as well with frost, the last frost. So I think I just planted everything a bit too early. I had too much hope. So that's the ones outside, and compared to the ones inside. That's Scotland for you. And down here I thought, well, I should have really put the thought about this, but this should have really gone right to the back. Don't know why I didn't do that. We seem to have a potato invader from last year. Don't know if it's obvious. Don't know if it'll focus too much. Got broccoli. Yes! Blackberry red currants are looking amazing. And this is, they taste really good, chuffed for that. Raspberry down there. I thought it was dying, but actually seems to be coming through here. Blueberry. Apple trees, I'm so chuffed with. I know it's a little bit, we had to put up a little bit of support. Pear tree. My two pears. Got one there. One in there. Blueberries. This guy is sprouting like crazy. Again, more support strings. The rhubarb, I need to pick that. Don't know what's going on with these guys. Again, these were covered in aphids, so I've had to treat them a few times. And you might be wondering what all these little blue bins are. They're compost. So we put all the leaves, cut up cardboard, all the fruit and the veg scraps basically. Don't put any cooked things in or anything like that. So I think there's 60 litre food safe bins. I think we've got 5 of them. Lovely view. That's probably disgusting, but never mind. What we did is we drilled some holes in the bottom. When it's kind of half full, 3/4 full, seal it all off here. To put inside, you can roll it back and forth to help it break down faster. So my kind of thoughts are, while it's decomposing, for all the extra nutrients, just place them in between where I think it needs it the most, and just been moving them around the garden really. That's my very long-winded garden update, and maybe sometime I will learn not to overcrowd my beds. But until such times, it's only my second year outside in the raised beds and my first year in the greenhouse. Still learning, but you know what? You don't know if you don't try. Broccoli has just about, it's just too far now I think. We were away this weekend and unfortunately we've come back, and I think there's a few things that definitely need harvested. Sweet corn's finally coming on, and we've got some radishes in there now, along with some hopefully purple kale and some Chinese cabbage. We've got some carrots here that are bolting. We've got 3 different varieties in there. This one and this one seem to be bolting. Unfortunately, looking at them, they're definitely not ready to harvest. I'll show you guys in here. Not very big. These ones are F1 Nightbird, so they're the purple ones. The middle ones are Autumn King. And what are these? Oh, it does not even say. Oh well. Autumn Kings in the middle seem to be okay, but these ones are starting to bolt too. I mean, it might just be this splash of really good weather we're having. Our poor little lettuce is bolted as well. And also one of the beetroot. The passion fruit seems to be growing quite well. And next we've got cucumbers. I discovered you've got to sort of string them up and they kind of grow up kind of vine-like. So these guys seem to be doing pretty well right now. We're starting to get a few little flowers here and there. So I think we should be getting cucumbers. Some peppers down here, some from food waste, some more peppers. I got lots of different varieties. And actually, I think I can start to see some little pepper growth. Aubergine. We're starting to get something. It's a little spiky little do. I've got 2 different varieties. I think this is Black Beauty or Black, I want to say Black Betty, but that's maybe not right. And then this is the F1 Patio, or Early Long Purple down there. It's a bit of a mix. I should have really kept track of that. This sweet corn. Well, this is our indoor ones. I mean, these guys are over 6 foot and coming along really nicely. As you can see up here, that seems to be doing okay. And I'm starting to see these guys in here starting to pop through. So hopefully, and down there as well, so hopefully we should get sweet corns. Artichoke. They've not done very well in the greenhouse. It's the first time I've tried them in the greenhouse. Well, the first year I had the greenhouse. Last year I did it outside and they did okay. This monstrosity down the rest of this side is all tomato. Cherry tomatoes in this first one, they're coming on really good. I really hope. And we're getting lots of flowering, so I'm hoping it's going to be warm enough. I need to water them again. They're so thirsty. And then we've got Alicia Craig. I know that says onion, but don't mind that. That's still cherry tomato. But in here is that Alicia Craig. I need to go through these and give them a little helping hand, give a bit more support in there. Lante tomato. Again, we've got a few in there. It smells amazing. Next up, we've got the Super Marmande. They're starting to flower as well. Oh yeah, a little tomato there. Got a whole pile. This is the darkest part of the greenhouse. Got a few in there. And last, we've got the striped stuffers in this corner. Got an odd little flower down here. Not sure if there's actually any tomatoes in here yet, but definitely flowering. Got our giant pumpkin. Lots of flowering actually under here. Do have pumpkin. I'm sort of debating whether I should put him outside. Squash, which has kind of gone a bit crazy, but I do have 2 little squashes. Oh, I've got another one. Excellent. Golden grillers, they're doing really well. I've already harvested quite a few of those. I think this might be a Virginia 3. We got these ones in Tenerife. So there's one there. And then we've got some more golden grillers down here. I've had to put a few stakes in to support them. And this is just a random array. I think as well this guy here is my Romanesco cauliflower, Raman, I don't know how to pronounce that. A few more random extra aubergines and things there. I'm going to have a bit of a clear out here and a bit of a chop. Oh yeah, there is spinach up there and garlic chives. I think we need to have a bit of a clear through here, especially a bit of support in there, and I will show you when I'm all done. Next up, raised beds. So much learning. Shiraz, Monge 2, Dami soybeans, different peas. This has been a bit of a disaster. I should have remembered really from last year. It gets a bit of a tangle, and I put them so close together that I actually can't tell which one is which when we're picking them. So next year, I must remember to separate them into different beds. Courgette down here, and the happy little spider. So they seem to be doing okay, and another variety of courgette over there. Lettuce in here. Again, these have just about gone to seed, but I'm just going to harvest all these. Beetroot! Yep, they are also ready to harvest. The beetroots are looking good. Oh my word! Yes, the beetroots are looking good. And of course they have completely squished my onions. Potatoes. I don't even know what to say about this. Too small a space. I don't know. Behind here there was leaks down there, but I think that's been a bit of a disaster. Well, I'll go through what I think I've done wrong. Please do correct me if wrong. Any hints and tips, always welcome. So these are all Brussels sprouts. Again, too crowded in. They've gone a bit wild. I don't know if it's the weather we're having, like it's so hot in Scotland, and maybe I planted them too early. This should be parsnips down here. And I do have 3 different types of carrot here. The F1 Nightbird. Every single one has bolted, total disaster. They're a purple type of carrot. In here I think we've got the Autumn Kings. They were really great last year, and I think some of them are still salvageable. Oh, maybe actually, holy toot. That looks good, doesn't it? I'm going to harvest a whole load of these, I think, because a load of these are bolting. There's nothing much, when they bolt, that's it. There's nothing else you can do. And I can't seed save from these because they've bolted far too soon. On to the third bed. So set onions, they seem to be doing okay at the moment. Everything's maybe getting a little ravished by snails and, well, everything's getting ravished this year by snails and slugs. So we've got Chinese cabbage, and then we've got some kale. Some radishes. I think these are the blue red moon mix. And these are the outdoor sweet corns. Yeah, so that's Scottish weather for you. In here, now we went away for the weekend and all my broccoli bolted, which I'm absolutely gutted about. But actually, I don't know if you guys can see this. Cauliflower. Red cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, and next year, don't know what I was thinking, not putting this right up to the end, so I'm going to haul all this out. On to the rest of the garden. I've taken all the rope out of this fencey bit. Up in that corner, I think plant a blueberry and try and wire up so I can train it along here. Plant something in this little area too. Blackcurrant, they've come on okay. It's a bit of a mixed review over there. I don't know what to say about the rhubarb. I was thinking to make maybe a little corner up there for them, just actually plant them into the soil. Bramble seems to be fairly expanding. Bay tree as well there. Blueberry there, ant there. So I don't know if it's possible. It would be possible to train this, wouldn't it? Do you think? We could give that a wee try. The pear tree is really growing. How's my wee pears doing? Oh, here he is. And another one at the back there. Apple trees coming along nicely as well. A few blueberries down there. I feel a bit sorry for that raspberry, I don't know what to do about him. The red currant is still doing well. We've got lots of red currants, but of course I think the birds keep pinching them. Blackberry, I think it is called. Yeah, blackberries. We've got loads coming on there. And actually, if you follow him up, he's gone wild. I wish I'd kind of, you can see him up there as well. We've also got the olive tree. I thought maybe planted the olive tree and one of the ends might be good, and maybe training him up and along. What kind of olive tree is he? Oh, 12 metres, half hardy, oh dear. Well, we'll see what we can do with that, because you can't stay in that pot forever. We got 5 cherries this year, and I can tell you the other 4 tasted delicious. And then we've got all the straws and one lazy dog. It's been a busy afternoon. This is obviously where our box net thing is for the brassic type area. Shush seagull. The little onions that weren't doing well have now been planted in there with the rest of the onions. The broccoli unfortunately had all gone to seed and bolted. Cauliflower is doing rather well. So I will be taking the other broccoli and he will go in here now. These guys are getting left as is. I've been through all the carrots. Everything that's been bolted is gone. I've taken out all the purple carrots, some parsnips, and these are my broccoli, not broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Is that what they're meant to look like? I have no idea. I've taken out the leeks from under there. They've cut back all the potatoes in some sort of vague hope they will still be okay for the tatty holidays or October break. The onions are in here. I've taken all the lettuce out that was in there. I've taken the spring onions out as well. These are the beetroots I've harvested. I think these are rainbow beets. A few things, the things I've bolted that can't be salvaged. And then these are the beetroots. They're just quite little at the moment. I'm not going to harvest them. I'm going to pop them back in here. Everything's been pruned back and organised. Down here now is some red peppers that I've grown from food waste. The artichokes have been put behind there. I have gone in as well with all the tomatoes, cut out little bits, all the little side shoots other plants need. I've cut everything back just for airflow because it is quite crowded in here. Next year I won't put in so many tomato plants, but because they're all in such a tangle I don't really know what to do about it. But I have discovered a few little tomatoes hiding away in the midst of it all. Giant pumpkin, seem a bit better now. I'd cut back a whole lot of stuff before I'd realised that was the shoot he was coming off. Whoops. I put in supports for the squash. I've put in some supports for the courgettes, golden grillers. The cauliflower that was here is now in, I know my nails are horrible, I've got paint and everything all over them, is now in there. And this is now a collection of aubergine and red peppers. Not really done much with this entanglement, not much I can do now unfortunately. I've put in all the beetroots that were not very big. Next year they're getting more spaced out and hopefully that won't happen again. Carrots are done, all that's all sorted up there, potatoes behind there, broccoli, onions are in, I've put in artichoke. Here is my poor sad broccoli. You can probably see the cauliflower's a little bit better though. I've also finished painting everything. I'm going to leave that in its pot over there. That is a blueberry and the other side is an olive tree. Passion fruit's actually doing really well. We did have a flower on it, but I think the slugs might have got it. It was around here somewhere. That seems to have been eaten, so never mind. The cucumbers are doing rather well. Got a few tiny sort of cucumbers coming, but nothing really amazing just now. We're having a horrific infestation of slugs and snails, as we can see on the pepper plants. So these are all peppers, variety peppers down here. I've got one flower, not doing much at the moment. Oh wow, okay, here we do have a pepper. So this one's doing really well. What kind is that? Sweet pepper blocky mix. Ooh, and the pepper F1 salad fiesta. We've got some flowers on that. But yes, we do have some. And in there as well. So there's hope for that yet. The sweet corn has gone mental in the greenhouse. It's growing really well. I mean, look at, are they called the husks? I don't know what they're called. They're doing fantastic. Really pleased with that. And aubergine. Aubergine, we do have a few aubergine flowers. Got a few more coming there and there. Oh, and fantastic, we've got our first tomato. But there is loads of tomatoes all through the greenhouse. Also very green. Pumpkin plant, I don't know if it's really meant to be in the greenhouse. The little pumpkin plant down there has long gone. And we do have a few hopefuls there. Also, same as I think it might just be too humid in here. I'm having a terrible time with the squash. Although I did have a few there, but a few have just gone rotten. I don't know what to do with him. He's looking okay. Fingers crossed he survives. But I've already harvested a lot of the courgettes. Oh wow, we do have a few down there. We do have a few more courgettes coming there and in there. Peas, dami and mange too are just still a bit of a disaster. We've got courgettes grown really well down here. These are the Virginia 3s. The extra beetroot I put in is starting to come back to life. I think I've lost this little strip of onions here, and these guys have been completely flattened. They seem to be a reasonable size. Carrots, these guys are bolting again. I think I'm just going to pull the whole lot up and see what we've got and maybe put the pumpkins in. We've got parsnips in here. Brussels sprouts seem to be coming on quite well actually. They're starting to form. As for the potatoes, I don't know. My cauliflowers have all gone purple. I don't know what that means. Romanesco cauliflower. He seems okay, but eaten alive by something. The outdoor sweet corn isn't really doing much. And then we've got some radishes. I don't know what they're like. What is this? Oh, is this all gone to seed? I think these are supposed to be the kale. This is supposed to be Chinese lettuce that's gone to seed as well. What is going on this year? I don't know who you are, but you're pollinating, so that's excellent. And some more onions down there. Oh, on a side note, our bramble is producing berries and they look excellent. We managed to sneak off a few the other night. I've also planted blueberry in that corner, olive tree in that corner, rhubarb at the end up there. Gala apple tree seems to be okay. And the apple tree is doing okay this year. I don't think it's quite as good as last year. I mean, the pear tree is really growing. How's my pear doing? Oh, it is doing okay. We're still getting loads of berries. Black currants or blackberries. Black brambles? I don't know what they're called. A load of carrots have bolted, and that's them there. I've just pulled out a few of the radishes. That's what they're looking like. Not great, is it? It's not really a radish, is it? I'm also going to do something with this. What an absolute mess. The dami and beans and everything all wheeshed in there together. This is a total disgrace. So lesson learnt, don't put them near each other. Well, tiny update for you guys. I've taken out all the peas and mange too, and I've replaced them with some courgettes that were in the greenhouse just over there. I very unceremoniously popped them in there. Although I have noticed as well some of the onions are about to flower. Never ending, is it? I've also hauled out everything. All the radish, kale, Chinese cabbage, that's all gone. But in case you were wondering, this is everything I've gotten from the garden today. This is all the peas, mange too, beans, peas, everything. And some carrot and courgettes. Pea and bean harvest complete. This is the passion fruit here. We did have a flower in here, but it has been eaten. The cucumbers are looking really good. Actually up here, there is a cucumber in there. There was a day that I didn't manage to get these guys watered, so they're not looking the best. Cucumbers in there. Red peppers. So we've got lots of flowers going on in here, and this guy in here, got a few peppers there and there, just waiting for them to go red. Sweet corn. Well, this has just gone a bit wild. Got this guy here, he's not looking too healthy, but we do have this one here. You can see that okay. This one over here. Sweet corn is kind of coming at. Aubergines down here. Does this turn into an aubergine? I don't know. Do you see that? Does that turn into an aubergine? We've got quite a few flowers. No aubergine shapes as yet. And the tomatoes. I'm so chuffed for this. Going so red. Oh, we have had a problem with mice thieving, so all the bomb branches are all gone from the mice. But you know, they've got to eat too. Like the cherry tomatoes are all starting to go red under here. Yeah, I think that for next year I'm definitely going to think of a better structure. I need to get them here and tidy all this up again. And then under here, all the rest of the tomatoes. Definitely I've got a heap, just waiting for these guys to go red now. I don't know if this bit of the greenhouse is just a bit too cold or not enough daylight. This guy at the end hasn't produced, I don't really see any flowers on him either. What is this? this tomato striped stuffer, and then the super marmande. So he's definitely got a few on him here. I think, yeah, these guys are marmande. Alicante. Oh, definitely a few at the back there. And then Alicia Craig. Loads there. The cherry tomato is just going wild. I wonder if the cherry tomato has been a lot better simply because there's just more daylight here. The poor pumpkin in the back here, I don't think they like it in here. Also the butternut squash, but he seems to be so unhappy. There's one down here. Well, at least we've got one, I suppose. What is that? I don't know what that is. Moving on to the courgettes. Pretty rubbish in the greenhouse. I don't know, I think it's just too moist in here. Aubergine, so we have got some bits that look like they're about to flower. Oh, and the garlic chive up there seems to be quite happy. What are you up to? What is it? What's wrong? Don't eat the bugs, please. The courgettes seem to really like it out here. Lovely courgette flowers. Lots more growing down. Oh, lots more growing down here. The beetroot I replanted seems to have all come back quite a bit, although there is a few things bolting. Maybe we've had it for that. I might just have to harvest them all. Onions, these guys obviously haven't survived. They haven't like been moved at all. But these onions seem to be okay, doing okay from set. That one seems to be about to go to flower. The rest of them have been pretty good and they look pretty good size-wise. Carrots. Oh dear, I thought I'd pull a few because they're looking ginormous. And I pulled up this. So that hasn't been very successful, but I think this guy has. I think I need to just go ahead and harvest the carrots. I have no idea what's happened to the potatoes. I've just totally wrecked them this year. And then we've got more onions. Sweet corn is actually coming up not too badly. I feel terrible. We were away camping at the weekend. Cauliflower's have all like bolted. The blueberry, he seems to be doing okay actually. He is doing okay, isn't he? Rhubarb down here. Not all of them are looking great. The dogs keep walking over it. Both supposed to be the same type. This has got berries on and they're super bitter. This one's all leafy with very little growth. This bramble is amazing. So every morning I'm coming out and pulling lots of brambles off of it. This tastes amazing. The pear is actually growing. Right up to the top of that wall now. He has finally dropped. There's the other guy back there. Apples seem to be doing okay. Gala apple from seed. Oh, I don't know if he looks alright or not. They still feel really hard. I think they're supposed to go black. And I think the bird has been in at this one. And all these have gone, unless the dog's even in them, which is quite possible. The strawberries have been terrible this year. Terrible. And granted, we've got one there and these have gone a bit to heck. I do have one strawberry flower there. They're in here. Maybe we will get a few, but it's just been terrible this year. Autumn Kings. Those were the carrots in the middle of the bed. Got loads of them. They've actually come out really good. Early Scarlet Horns. And they've come out. Okay, there's a few of them that have been split. Part of these bolted. Autumn King. They were good actually. Not many of them have bolted, so I'm chuffed for that. F1 Nightbird. So they're like purple carrots. And pretty much every single one of them was bolted. So here is how the greenhouse is now looking after a bit of TLC. Chop back some of the cucumber. Got a nice looking cucumber up there. I've also moved the pumpkin that was up at the back there. He is now in there. I'll show you in a minute. Just tidied up the tomatoes as well and chopped off some of the top so they don't go too high. Squash plants there that I've tidied up and given a bit of support to. I don't know if this is the right way to do it at all. I have a feeling they want to just leer along the ground like the courgettes. That's how everything's looking in the greenhouse. I've popped in the pumpkin in here and that's it for this update. Guess we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. Excuse my voice, I think I got a bit of a cold. Cucumbers are doing really rather well. I didn't even notice him up there. Yeah, so the cucumbers are doing quite well. Oh, another sneaky cucumber in there. Sweet corn, far too tall for the greenhouse. I've only got 3 husks, is that what they're called? I'm not entirely sure when they're supposed to be ready. We have definitely got peppers in here. Another one there. There are definitely a few popping in. They're still not in any way, shape or form red. Aubergine down here. We had tiny little in there. Tomatoes all along here. The little cherry tomatoes are doing great. We've had quite a lot of splitting. And we've had quite a lot of mice. So I think I've relocated 18 mice so far this year. Still waiting for all these guys to go red. Oh my goodness, there's so much things collapsed in here. I'm definitely going to have to rethink how I'm going to support all that next year. My squash has never really come to anything. One tiny butternut squash down there. We've got lots of flower. Oh, we do also have tiny snails there. Cayenne peppers. The Hungarian black peppers. Jalapeno, still no flowers. That's a little greenhouse update for you guys. The golden grillers, although their name is courgettes, I think they're a bit more like squash. The Virginia 3s have gone wild. I mean, they're massive compared to my hand. This guy in here, how am I even... I think I've just left them too long. I should have really harvested them a bit sooner. The beetroot I replanted is all gone to seed now, so I really need to get all that dug up. The same with the onions. We've got one wee pumpkin down there, parsnips in here, so we won't find out till later in the year how they are. Brussels sprouts I think is doing okay. I've pretty much given up the potatoes. More onions over here. Outdoor sweet corn. I think in Scotland we've just got to accept that we're going to keep trying. Definitely need to haul up all my cauliflower in there, and we still have a Ramonian cauliflower getting on. The blueberry plant seems to be quite happy. I've now gone ahead and sort of attached little wires to him to kind of hopefully encourage him to kind of grow along here along the fence line. A rhubarb. Well, one of them seems to be doing good since it's been replanted in this area. And the olive tree. So the olive tree seems to be quite happy in the ground as well. One pair in there and another little pair at the back here. Apples are starting to turn slightly more red. Are these finally starting to go black? I think they are. And everything in this corner over here, I'm going to put a lot of that over there and in that little space there. I've harvested some of the cucumbers. I've gotten rid of the squash today. I've harvested the courgettes. We've harvested the onions, the beetroot. I've gotten rid of the all the bolted cauliflower in there. Here's my harvested onions. I'm going to leave them to dry in here. The other side of the onions I will do maybe next couple of weeks. Harvested the courgettes, they're blooming massive. And we've got cucumber and the last of the beetroot. So here's the passion fruit, no more flowers. Oh, we've got a sneaky snail there at the back. Cucumbers are still doing well. Harvested loads of those. We've still got a few cucumbers growing. So the cucumber is doing really well. The peppers, they've not done a whole lot really. We do have a few in here. This one's gone to hell. The sweet corn is definitely ready to harvest, so I'll be doing that today. Those two, that one, seem to be doing really well. This one I think slightly questionable. Aubergines down here, well this whole bit of plant is dying, and this seems to be the only, or as close to aubergine as I've gotten. As you can see, he's tiny. Onto the tomatoes. Yeah, questionable. So as you can see, the cherry tomatoes have done okay. I've really chopped them back because there was nothing more was going to grow, but we have got like lots and lots of green tomatoes. We've got lots of tomatoes here that haven't gone red, and I don't know if they will. I might give them one more week and see if they will ripen. I just don't think it's warm enough in here now. The butternut squash plant is dying off. I will harvest him today and see if he's any good. Aubergine plants that haven't done anything, but they're a lovely place for the snails to live. More pepper plants. I mean, there is lots of potential here. I don't know if I just haven't started them early enough in the year, but I'll just leave these guys over winter. Cayenne chilies, we have actually got a few cayenne chilies growing. Still need to go red. Hungarian black chilies. I have got a few jalapeno flowers, but as yet no jalapeno chilies. I think I've harvested all the Virginia 3s. Do maybe just have a few more down here potentially. Gala apple will be going in the greenhouse to protect him for the winter. So we do have just one regular courgette that's growing. I had a lot of problems with these start of the year, the regular courgettes, because of the frost. Golden grillers, they're still growing happily in there. Don't know what's happened to the potatoes, but I will be digging these up today. The pumpkins in this planter. This is the only little pumpkin that's left. So I'm going to be harvesting all these onions. Sweet corn. I think this is the only one starting to flower. And it's the only one that's starting to flower. I think it's a bit late for them. And my Ramasco cauliflower. I don't know if you can see him in there. Trying to protect him from all the caterpillars. Still no cauliflower. So we wait. Apple tree as well. Starting to drop apples now. Got a bit of new growth on raspberries. Blackberry. Finally, all the blackberries turning black. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest everything and give you a final update for my garden summer 2019. I'm also going to be planting a whole load of garlic. I know I should have probably done that in August, I think, but we're doing it now in the hopes that they'll be good for next year. Here is the tiniest butternut squash in the world. Here is all my harvested onions. These guys over here I did the other week, 2 weeks ago, and then these are the last of the onions. And my 2 buckets of potatoes. I didn't actually think these were going to come any good, but here we are. Really pleased with my onions and my 2 buckets of potatoes. Some good tatties there. And onions are just going to stay in our shed and dry. It's now the 23rd of September and I think I'm going to call it a day on the garden updates for right now. Everything is pretty much harvested, but here is the last little clips of my efforts in growing. I hope you've enjoyed this little journey growing in the greenhouse and seeing my journey. Subscribing is optional, but of course very much appreciated. Also, you should subscribe if you want to see how I get on over the winter with the garden and the greenhouse, and of course again next year. And also, if you want to see what I do with the veg, how I preserve it or use it, or maybe make some recipes. That's my plan. Here is the final update on the greenhouse for 2019. We're still growing cucumbers. Got a few in there. I'm just going to leave these guys to grow. So I've taken in a lot of my strawberry baskets from outside. I've also, around here, I've taken in our fireplace, fire pit, barbecue, because I don't think we're going to have any more chance of that now in the winter. Gonna leave these guys to continue growing, as I will the chilies and everything down the side here. I've cut down all the sweet corn in. The tomatoes I'm going to try and just leave to ripen for as long as possible. Down here I've got a little gala apple, hopefully trees, that I'm growing from seeds, so we will see how they get on in here over the winter. Raised beds. I do have a few courgettes left to harvest. I haven't got the last courgette flower. Is it a bit late for that now? In this bed here I have planted garlic, pumpkins, well, can't be helped. We've got parsnips, and we've got Brussels sprouts. They are winter veg, and apparently it's got to be frost. The frost helps parsnips become sweeter. I've dug up all the potatoes, and although I thought that was a bit of a disaster, we've actually got a load of potatoes. Last of the onions has been dug up. Sweet corn I shall leave. And my poor Ramasco cauliflower, although I keep thinking it is a broccoli, it's not. The cauliflower. I'm going to leave him in here. Next year we're planning to take the pallets from there and put a sort of box in sort of around here. Plant some of the flowers. This might be the tiniest butternut squash ever. It's a start, isn't it? We've got our sweet corn, all 3 of them. An update on the corn. This one's probably the best one. Got one here that's a bit... Oh guys, can you go sit down? Chico, this is not for you, it's for my dinner. No, but this is probably the best one. What are you saying? Don't know what's going on with this one. And this guy, I have no idea what's happened there. This too didn't fare too well. Definitely edible. I'm going to give them a try and see how they are. And see if it's worth doing them again next year. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this time lapse of 2019 in the garden and growing things. I hope you found this educational or learnt something. Do feel free to share this with anyone you think might find it useful or entertaining, and I will hopefully progress and get better next year. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!